Hello and welcome to HD Movie Talk. I am your host, Dean's Beans, and as I am every single week of my life since the day I was born, I am sitting here in a Zoom room with the one, the only, the orange beanied, the handsome Fluffy Duffy. Hello, Harlan.
I just gotta say, like prior to 2019, people
Mhm.
were going insane. Especially like 2005 era,
Yeah,
around then, when we were getting on Zoom calls.
yeah.
People were like, I try to use this word sparingly, but people were straight up flabbergasted.
People were cray cray.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should have
yeah.
invested.
Marty McFly got the sports almanac.
Yeah.
We got Zoom.
I feel like if you did invest in Zoom in like, I don't know what year Zoom started, but if you invested in Zoom that year and you cashed out like 2022, you'd be on top of the world.
I don't know about top of the world, but you certainly be higher than most other people.
Nope, top of the world. Anyway, Harlan,
Okay.
thank you for joining me in this Zoom room for we've been doing this for 20 years. We're used to it at this point. But thank you for joining me here for a very serious conversation that I've come here just to have with you, sit you down and talk to you about. No one else is listening to this. Um, I brought you here
Oh,
because we talk about movies, we talk about TV shows, don't we?
yes, we do.
They are our wheelhouses. If someone came up to me and like, "Hey Dean, what's your wheelhouse?" I'd be like, "Movies and maybe TV shows," and then they'd go, "Nice wheelhouse." But things are shifting. Things are changing at the moment. There's strikes going on, so we're limited in what we're currently choosing to talk about. So we're opening the wheelhouse. We're leaving the wheelhouse. We're leaving the box, and we are thinking outside of it. I,
Wow.
I can already tell this is going to be a weird podcast because I'm starting this up with a weird energy.
You're being a silly goose,
I disagree.
but that's okay. What are we
I
talking about today, Dean?
can you say it because I'm going to go on another tangent.
I would love to. So today we're going to focus primarily on video games, and we're going to rank all the superhero video games that we have collectively played.
Yes, between us, we have.
So there are so there are a couple ones that I've never touched that Dean has played, and
Mhm.
vice versa. But most of which, looking at this list, we have both played.
Yeah, and also I just want to warn people if like you're big into some of these things. I would say 95% of the games on this list, neither of us are experts in. And we might like be
Mm-mm.
struggling to remember stuff about them, and we might be a bit like, "Oh, did this happen in this game, or is this a different?" There might be that sort of thing going on. And if that kind of thing upsets you, then keep listening to drive our engagement and get upset, but just don't tell us you're
Yeah,
upset.
perfect.
Yeah, just comment the opposite of your annoyance, and then if you're really liking it, then just comment what you're thinking. Okay, are we just going to go through this list one by one and just rank them as we go along in our classic style?
Yep.
We have randomized this list in case you're thinking, wow, this is a real weird order. Um, with
I
that
think
being,
the first one that we're going to talk about, looking at this list, this might be the standout weirdest.
I think this game is like, I feel like this game that we're about to talk about is a core part of a nerd that's about our age, of like that's just been a part of their life, and we're talking about
So,
Marvel versus Capcom 3. Can I start this
have you ever
conversation?
played the first two?
Hmm?
Have you ever played the first two?
No.
I think maybe I have on like arcade machines,
Yeah, yeah.
but like this is one that I had for my Xbox 360.
Hmm. Can I ask you a question before we start this off?
Sure.
What is Capcom?
Capcom, do you like, are you asking like to quiz
Like,
me, or like you actually don't know?
no, I sort of know, but like if someone asked me, I don't think I'd be able to give a confident answer.
So Capcom, I believe, is another like Japanese, maybe Korean gaming enterprise similar to Nintendo, and they have things like Street Fighter,
Hmm.
Mega Man, Pac-Man, I think. Like they all the iconic video game characters from like the 80s that aren't Nintendo are
Yeah.
most likely Capcom.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that
A
makes sense.
weird com a weird
It is weird, isn't
you
it?
know duo for like a fairly successful franchise. But
Yeah. I'm looking at a picture here. Do you want to hear the rundown of the characters in this? The Marvel characters. I'm not going to try.
sure,
This is me like judging
I
off a
think
photo. There's one person I don't recognize here. So we have Nova, Ghost Rider, Hawkeye, Doctor Strange, Iron Fist, Rocket Raccoon, surprisingly, Captain America, Dormammu, Deadpool, Wolverine, Iron Man, Doctor Doom, Storm, Thor, MODOK, Spider Man, a Sentinel, the Hulk, a Super Skrull, Black Widow, Magneto, She Hulk, and Taskmaster. Oh, X-23 is the one I didn't recognize.
oh
It's an interesting roster because this is like pre-MCU stuff.
yeah. Deadpool's in this game, right?
Yeah, Deadpool.
I think that this was one of my first introductions to Deadpool.
Interesting.
Aside from another game on this list.
So did you own this game?
Yeah.
I didn't. This is funny. When I went to America, I played so much of this on my cousin's whatever console he had it on.
Yeah, that's kind of like I had this game, but I feel like I have a similar relationship with it. Like I played it a little bit. It's fun, but like it's sort of like a less interesting Mortal Kombat or
Yeah.
Injustice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, technically, considering this is the first one we've talked about, this is going to be number one. I
Yeah.
don't see it being very high on this list.
I don't either. Like it's got some real core memories for me. I remember this game so much in comparison to how much I played it.
Interesting.
Uh, just to show how much of an expert of Capcom I am, while writing that down, I don't know if Harlan was looking at the list, but I forgot what the word was.
What word? Capcom?
Capcom, and I had to scroll up, read it, and then write it down.
Oh, I didn't see that. So you just exposed yourself.
Okay, on to the next game, a game that only Dean has played.
Thank God.
What is it, Harlan?
I think I know enough about this game to accurately rank it. But
God, yeah, what is it?
the next on the list is Square Enix's The Avengers.
Yep, a couple of years ago now. I have played this. I've played quite a bit of it, like maybe 6, 7 hours. Like
Wow.
I haven't played like hours, like you know, like masses of it, but I've played quite a bit.
This game is so frustrating because
Mhm.
I remember even before like the legitimate game was announced, like there was like a super teaser trailer that had been out for like years.
Yes.
And I remember being so excited for this game. Like an Avengers open world multiplayer game, but they
Yeah.
dropped the ball so hard.
The thing is, I think this is one of those games which would be really, really difficult to make. And I think it's people always say, oh yeah, like it would be impossible to make a good Superman video game because he's too powerful. I think that's a completely different conversation. But making this game, there's a game we're going to talk about later on. If they did this game in the style of that game, then I think this could be a good game. And I'm talking about Guardians Galaxy. I'll just say it. But I think there are certain elements in this type of game they wanted to create where this wouldn't really work. And I'm not talking about like microtransactions or any of that sort of thing. I'm just talking about the core game mechanics of like being able to play whichever character whenever you want, sort of. And the issue with that being is that every single character you have like it is quite an array of characters that I'll read out the list as I have been doing because I may as well now I'm here. There's quite an array of characters to play as, and you're trying to make them all equally capable. So you're creating a video game where Hawkeye is just as powerful as the Hulk or Thor, and I think that is, it's not ideal.
But also like that it's super tricky. But that's why like you just need to be able to give it like different that's why I agree with you. If they made it in a more of a style similar to Guardians of the Galaxy,
Hmm.
it would be or like what you would do is maybe Hulk. You make more Hawkeye more fun to play as.
Yeah,
Like I hate to say it, but there's another game on this list that did the power scaling better.
yeah, and I think
And
what you could do
you
is you do like, oh, you need Hawkeye for this level because it's a stealth level, or you need Hulk for this level because you've got to go and
right.
smash some stuff. But every level was you enter a place and you kill a bunch of dudes and then you leave, and that was pretty much it. And like obviously I played quite a bit this game. I think I finished the main story, which isn't particularly long. And I enjoyed the story. I think the story is pretty good. I don't know if you know anything about that. Um,
Well, Captain America dies.
Yeah, and it has
When
got well. I don't. I think spoiler alert. I think he's alive. He comes back. He does come back.
Yeah,
It,
he does come back.
it's a really cool mission on a space station, and then Tony Stark saves Captain America in this space station, and they're kind of like, "Oh, we're stuck in this space station now." And then Thor comes and saves you. It's pretty good. What I like about the game is it does something different with the characters. Where everyone complained about their costumes, they're like, "Oh, this is just MCUified, and it's like a worse version of that." But the story basically is like the Avengers failed to stop this threat, and then so they disband, and then like 5 years later or whatever, they're brought back together, and they're all like kind of different characters to what we're used to. So like the Tony Stark wasn't like a part of his company; he was just living off in the desert somewhere, and I thought those elements of it were interesting. And this, I would argue, this is the first like mainstream um like main character appearance of Kamala Khan because she's kind of the main character
Barely,
of
but
the video
yeah.
game. She's kind of the main character of this video game, and I always really liked seeing her, and I think they got her characterization right. Just to defend this game a bit.
Okay. Okay. Fair
Do you want
enough.
to hear the list of
Where do you
characters?
put this above Capcom?
No. Do
Okay.
you want to hear the list of
I
characters?
agree. Are you going off the list? Are you
Yeah.
going off the list?
Captain
Sure.
America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Thor, Hulk, Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, Clint Barton, Black Panther, Spider Man, Mighty Thor, Winter Soldier.
But a lot of those, like almost half, I would say, are were added after the fact.
Yeah, so in the original game, it was Miss Marvel, Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, Iron Man, Captain America.
No Hawkeye?
No,
Say Hawkeye?
no, Hawkeye was added.
Huh.
Uh, well, funnily enough, Kate Bishop. So the game was released in September 2020. Kate Bishop was released in December 2020, and then Clint Barton was released March 2021.
That's weird. Hmm.
Which now I'm thinking about it and I'm looking at these dates. I think the reason I played so much of this game was because it was like peak COVID.
That makes sense.
That's my excuse. Okay. The next game is another game which I have played and you have not.
I really have. This is maybe the game I know least about.
Really, Guns Galaxy.
Maybe there's one other game on this list I don't know a lot about.
Do you feel any inkling to want to play this?
Yeah, I purchased it off the PlayStation Store. Like it was like
Oh, yeah.
a free one
Yeah.
because I have the membership.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just haven't downloaded because I'm playing through Spider-Man PS4 again.
Yeah,
But
it's very different from I would say almost every other game on this list. Because it is very story driven. There's no like side quests or open worldness to it. Um, it kind of is like in a lot. I think you like choose your own dialogue and there's that sort of thing. I don't know if you know you play as Peter Quill.
right, can you not play as any of the other characters?
No. So how it works is you play as Peter Quill and then you get to a certain point and then you can like use other characters in combo moves and like get them to do things in battle. Like you can control them and order them about, which makes this
Interesting.
so lame. Because I remember when this game was announced and they were like, "Oh, that's cool." And I think Guns Galaxy is a team you can do power balancing with quite easily.
Yeah.
Um, but like it's fun. I think it does work in the way it is made. I think the story is really solid. Like it's a really really good story, and um, as you would expect, it has a really good soundtrack. Really
I
good.
feel like not a lot of I feel like this game went under a lot of people's radar.
It did, but I really like it, and I would put this in first place for now.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Guardians of the Galaxy. So, what's next?
Next is Ultimate Alliance, and I don't remember if I play if like I think I played Ultimate Alliance, but it could have been Ultimate Alliance too. But at the end of the day, they're kind of the same thing in my brain.
Yeah, actually, I don't know which one I played, but I played it
Um,
on the DS.
oh, I played it on my Wii.
Oh,
Because I remember I think I got this for my birthday,
yeah,
and I think I got like a really expensive like a really nice bike or
yeah.
something. But I also got this. And the first thing I did when I finished up my presents, I went over to my Wii and I plugged it in and I started playing. And my parents were so upset because
Really?
they had this super nice bike, and I just wanted to play this video game. And my birthday's in the summer, like it's like sunny, bright morning, and I whipped out
Do
my
they
Wii
still
remote
talk
and my
about
nut.
this at all?
What?
Do they ever talk about this at all?
No, it's just a core memory for me because I felt bad, but I just really wanted to play the game.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice.
Uh, but this game does have fun multiplayer
Yeah,
experience.
I'm not a big
But
fan of this style of game, you know?
no, I think this style of game I think was really big when like we were kids.
It was because it's like, simple.
You're right, it's simple. But I do even then remember getting quite bored,
Yeah, me
you
too.
know, and I just think I know that we have another similar esque game on this list
Hmm.
that I, when I was a kid, played through multiple times, and I don't think I even ever finished Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah. Okay, I
So,
have a list of playable characters.
okay,
There's a lot. You ready?
yeah.
Black Panther, Black Widow, Blade, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Colossus, Cyclops, Daredevil, Deadpool, Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange, Elektra, Ghost Rider, Hawkeye, Human Torch, Hulk, Iceman, Invisible Woman, Iron Man, Luke Cage, Magneto, Mr. Fantastic, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, who I'm sure is Captain Marvel, Namor, Nick Fury, Nightcrawler, Jean Grey, Ronin, Sabretooth, Silver Surfer, Spider Man, Spider Woman, Storm, Thing, Thor, Venom, Wolverine.
Do you want to know why this is? I believe I made it. Um, I made a video kind of regarding this game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, back before I think like 2005, right before this game came out, Activision and Marvel struck a deal where as long as it didn't intertwine with like movie
Mm-hmm.
characters, like no Tobey Maguire suit in the game, the
Yeah.
Activision could have whatever Marvel characters they wanted in their games. So like this was the first big one where they're like, let's do all of them.
That's yeah, it's cool, and I think it works. It's a solid. Oh no, wait! I just realized it's got. Okay, so I said this is not interesting to many people. I did say Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. The character we know as Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, wasn't created for like almost another 10 years. Um, so Miss Marvel was Carol Danvers, and Captain Marvel was the Man.
Oh, okay.
And
Good distinction.
interestingly, when I said Ronin, that's not Hawkeye Ronin, that's Echo Ronin. Because
Oh,
at one point Echo was Ronin, and like Daredevil was also Ronin. So when it says Ronin, this is a game with Echo in from all these years ago.
interesting.
Yeah. Do you think when you start playing as Echo, they just like cut the sound to the game?
That'd be awful.
Okay.
You need to put on the auditory visualization on.
Where do you want to rank this game?
Um, I say in between Marvel, Capcom, and the Avengers.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Um, this just goes for all the Ultimate Alliance games. So if you're like, oh, but I really liked three, shut up, it's in this position as well.
Yep.
So
All right, you
currently
gotta
our
take over
rankings:
here.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel vs. Capcom for three, Ultimate Alliance, The Avengers, and next up we have Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Never played this. Never even touched it.
Yo, I'm not reading out a list of playable characters for this because it's so long. This has a really fun uh story that I vaguely remember about Galactus coming. It's a bit of fun. Obviously, it's got like hundreds of playable characters. It's got like actually pretty good web swinging mechanics. Like it's open world
Yeah.
New York. Stan Lee is a playable character who can web swing.
Can you turn into the Hulk too?
Yes, he can. And this is the
That sucks.
first Lego game to have the big um, superheroes. I just want a
Hmm.
number on playable characters because I'm interested. Oh my, I've just been given a list. I don't want a list. The list is so long. Wow. But yeah, I remember I remember playing this game a lot.
So where would is there any like more like reason you have to go to, or can we just slap it on the list?
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of characters to play as obviously, and I think it's like in the classic old Lego game style where none of the characters talk.
Hmm.
And they do like fun stuff with the characters. I think like they're well characterized. I'd probably go second at the moment.
Okay.
It's
I
like
mean, I
it's a
haven't played
kids
it, so
game,
I agree
but
with
I
you.
think it's a good kids game.
Doesn't it have like you can design your own character,
I think
your
that's the
own
latest one,
superhero?
which I have not played. Oh, I don't know. Who knows?
All right.
Okay, on to a pretty big talking point for us.
Hmm.
Spider-Man PS4.
I love this game.
Me too.
I think we love it a pretty equal amount.
Yeah, we're both currently replaying it. I don't know how many times I've played this game, but I'm currently replaying it.
To be fair, I am on my second playthrough,
Yeah,
only my second.
I think to
But
be fair, three or four for me. It's not more than that, but I don't know.
when you play through, are you meaning like playing through this campaign
Like
or 100?
starting a new save and getting to the end of the story.
Okay, because I played through the story mode and then I kind of stopped there and then I picked it up again so I could plat it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did that. And for those who don't know, because this is technically we talked about, I didn't know what that meant 2 months ago. That means like get not only 100% in the game, but also achieving every single trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so then I tried doing that for Miles, and it's actually really hard to do for Miles, so I stopped doing that. And then um I repicked so that was on the PS4 version, and now I'm doing the remastered version of the game.
No.
That's Ryan.
So let's start with the story. Such a great story. I think this might be
So
my
good.
favorite interpretation of Doc Ock.
Yeah.
I think it is one of the best interpretations of Spider-Man
Yeah.
as just a guy.
Um, it's so interesting, like how like they intertwine him like getting evicted, and then him with Feast. There's so many smart things they do in this game. Like
I think the smartest thing they did was making him an experienced and like older Spider-Man, and I think that really worked. That when you bring the Sinister Six in, they've got like such a long history together.
I like, if I'm being honest, like when I first heard that, like I wasn't a big fan of it because it's kind of fun, like starting out it's just Peter Parker and like
Yeah.
learning your like that kind of sounds fun to me conceptually,
Mhm.
but I in execution, I really like how they did it in this
Yeah.
game.
And the thing is, this isn't a Peter, but like we're used to seeing the new Peter Parker in all media. It's nice to see a more experienced one that's got his like stuff together a bit more.
Yeah.
And what I always think about, I think a detriment to superhero films is that they can't have a relationship with a supervillain that like they've got together and they've fought dozens of times and they keep sending him to jail and he keeps getting back out and that sort of thing. And that's like that kind of back and forth is the kind of thing I enjoy in like the animated shows and the comics.
Mhm.
And like this game has that and it has that history between Pete and the villains, which I really like. It's a small thing.
And there are like I I just finished playing through um the scene with like the crane and the helicopter chase.
Yep, great.
So good. Like, and that isn't even, that's barely even a main story point. It's just like,
Yeah, that was like the demo, wasn't it?
was it? I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it was the demo, but it really does make you feel like Spider-Man. A lot of these story missions where you get to do sick stuff like that.
For sure. And even like, I love how the map is huge,
Yeah,
but it's still like you do like the research centers and you can like help civilians. There's so many fun little side missions that like don't feel, I mean, there are some things that feel monotonous. I feel like weigh this game down a lot, especially when you try to 100% it and you have to do
yeah,
the same crime
yeah,
stopping like 18 times in a row. But aside from that, and the swinging gets pretty, it's better in their more recent games.
yeah. But the
So
swinging is really good. I was going to say that.
yes, I mean, it's one of my favorite parts of the game, but Miles Morales does it better
Yeah, and
in that part of the game.
another complaint: DLC is nowhere near as good as the rest of the game.
No, oh my god, especially that social media villain.
Yeah, Screwball.
Screwball. Screwball.
I just don't think the story is as strong. I think it was a detriment going, oh, what can we do as like the main villain for the DLC? Or let's just do a really boring mob boss in Hammerhead.
Yeah, but the story arc with Yuri is really interesting though.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I think it is a bit rushed.
That's true. Um, but I mean, like, to be fair, that is a DLC. It's not the base of
Yeah,
the game.
yeah. But I'm saying if they did like Mysterio or Sandman or Lizard, that would have been so much better.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll do some Sandman in this new game though.
I think I'm still holding out hope that Sandman is the opening villain.
Okay, so he's stuck in that little vial, right?
Yeah, but they can just say what they want about that, I think, because that's just
Yeah,
like an
that's
Easter
true.
egg. You can kind of be like, oh, actually, and I think Mysterio might be like the Taskmaster,
Oh,
and like
that would be cool.
the challenges are just like his illusions. I think that'd be cool, but that's a different
That would be
conversation. Great game. I think we can both agree this is going in sixth place.
cool.
Only kidding. Ha ha ha. It's going in first place. What's next?
Next, we
Mm-hmm.
have Arkham Asylum,
Yes.
a beloved game. I like this game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like to do with Joker with Titan. It's fun.
Yeah, bit silly.
I, I think this might be my least favorite Arkham game.
I'm not sure. Number one, neither of us have played Origins.
That's true, and that's why it's not on this list.
Mhm.
But this is also my least played Arkham game for sure.
Really, I've 100%ed this one.
I don't think I finished this one.
Really. So
Yeah.
I think this game does a really good job of like doing a not like doing a sort of open world thing. I mean, like of it, you couldn't do something like Arkham City back then. Obviously, that goes without saying. And I think this strikes a good balance in kind of explorability and being story driven because there is a lot of Arkham Asylum to explore. But obviously, it's not huge.
Yeah, this game came out in 2009, and for coming out in 2009, it still looks amazing. It still looks really good.
Yeah, I mean this like revolutionized video game combat.
It revolutionized superhero video games.
Yeah. Like if this, but like everything steals the Arkham style combat now, like Spider-Man, which we just talked about.
Yeah,
It is just a copy of the Arkham combat.
yeah. All right.
And
I
that's
love
not
the
like a
Spider-Man.
complaint on Spider-Man because this is, top tier.
Right.
And I think this has great stealth stuff. I think it
Yeah.
has is really good at establishing this universe. Kind of like just like with Spider-Man, where they're like, this is Batman, he has all these villains, and they have this really long history. The kind of thing they never do in the films. And I think here it feels really like good just to have that back and forth.
Yeah. It
Um,
might be the go-to for superhero games because like having just a huge catalog of characters to pull from to put in your side missions, I feel like not
yeah,
only keeps the game interesting, but like nerds freak out about too. That's a whole
yeah.
other layer.
And I think like Spider-Man and Batman are the two best to do that with.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to hear?
So I think,
Sorry,
are we putting this on the list now, or you have
I was just going to
more
say,
things to say?
I just I thought it would be interesting to talk about the villains in this are Bane, Harley Quinn, Joker, Killer Croc, Scarecrow, Riddler, and Poison Ivy. Not loads. I remember the Poison Ivy mission being really hard.
I don't think I ever got onto the Poison Ivy mission.
That's the penultimate one.
That makes
But
sense.
where would you feel about ranking this?
I would put it above Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah, I'll put it in second place. I'm happy with that. I think,
because like Guardians of the Galaxy is good, but like this game is like straight up revolutionary.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Next up, Fortnite.
All right. This was my idea to put it in this list.
Yeah.
And I would say it has to go high. But when I was talking about the power scaling of Avengers and other
Yeah.
games have done it better, I don't think you played the Marvel
I played the Thanos one.
collaborations. The first Thanos one,
Yeah.
the first Thanos one was great. The second one for Endgame,
Mm-hmm.
they had a Hawkeye mythic, a Black Widow mythic, a Thor mythic, a Captain America mythic, and an Iron Man mythic. And like you could either be the Avengers or you can be Thanos' team with a Shatari.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. Nobody wanted to be the Shatari because it was so
yeah.
much fun.
For the record, Harlan has once said to me in our own Fortnite lobby that the Fortnite web swinging is better than the Spider-Man PS4 web swinging.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't, when you're swinging around with the Spider-Man mythics, you can't 200 pump someone in the forehead in Spider-Man PS4. You can't do that. So I think they're like
the web
they're
swinging
actually
is really
pretty
good.
fun.
The web
They're
swinging,
definitely better than the Avengers game.
yeah. I'm happy putting this relatively high up.
All right. Well, would you put it above Lego Marvel superheroes?
I'm thinking in that gap right there in between Guardians of the Galaxy and Lego Marvel superheroes.
I'm very happy with that.
Okay. Okay, next up we have Spider-Man 2002, a game I haven't played, so take it away.
So obviously, so initially this was Spider-Man 2 in 2004, which is a very well-regarded game.
Mhm.
But right before that, I realized I have actually never played that game, but I have played this game a lot.
Yeah.
But there's a specific caveat to that.
Mm-hmm.
I have never played past the hour mark.
Oh, really?
However, I have put in well over 20 hours into this game.
What? Okay, please explain.
Okay. this game was the first ever Spider-Man video game I ever played,
Yeah.
maybe 5 years old,
Hmm.
and I couldn't figure out how to save the game. So I've played through the training sequence and the opening fight where you get your suit
Yeah.
well over 15 times.
Yeah.
Like I have played that so many times.
And how was it?
Great. But looking back on it, it's Spider-Man 2 is definitely better, but I have such great memories of this game, but it's not the greatest game of all time.
Yeah.
Like by no means. But I do think it's better than Ultimate Alliance.
Yep.
It's fun. I mean, you get the Bruce Campbell, training because he
Yeah.
voices that.
Yeah.
You have
I've seen
Tobey
that.
Maguire's awful voice acting. Like it's fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all I can really add about
Where
this
do you
game.
want to rank it?
But I have played it.
Give me your pitch.
In between Marvel, Capcom, and Ultimate Alliance.
Sure. Sure. I'm happy with that. What's next?
Next, we might get a little bit heated about this one. Next, we have Arkham City.
This is in my top 3 video games of all time.
My favorite Arkham game.
It is like this is like my 3 favorite video games of all time in no particular order are sorry, I'm really fighting internally here. Spider-Man PS4, Arkham City, and probably Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
I would always say Breath of the Wild, but yeah, but that the best 2 superhero games I think without a doubt are Arkham City and yeah.
I love this game. I've played through the story multiple times for this game.
Phenomenal story.
I love gliding around. I love the movement in this game.
Yeah.
The Joker story. Oh, so good.
I think
Mark
there is this. I think this. I would argue this revolutionized superhero video games as much as Arkham Asylum, with the open world and all that sort of thing. It's like this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This is a lot more similar to what you're used to seeing now.
Yeah. But is the story better than Spider-Man PS4?
I think yes.
But the things with like Aunt May.
See, I was thinking about the stuff with Aunt May, but then here you get I mean, number one, you get like Batman's about to die. It's similar. I think Ra's al Ghul, great. Clayface, great. Joker, obviously, great. You get Two-Face and Penguin, unlike in the previous game, great. There's really good stuff with Penguin. I think here's an argument for you. I don't know which side of this argument I'm on, but I know what you want to say, so I'm just playing devil's advocate here. The side missions in this game are better than the side missions in Spider-Man PS4.
I don't know if I agree with that though.
But you get like Victor Zsasz, you get Deadshot, you get the Two-Face, you get Catwoman. Like
swinging around is more fun than gliding around.
No, you're right. But Hugo Strange as a villain. Can I read you a list of villains in this game?
Sure.
Amanda Waller, Azrael, Bronze Tiger, Calendar Man, Carmine Falcone, Clayface, Firefly, Hugo Strange, Killer Croc. I just figured out how to convince you on which side of this to be on. Man Bat, Mad Hatter.
Okay, but you get but Doc Ock.
Man. Okay, can I give you the argument here? This game has the best boss fights of all time. be honest with me. The Spider-Man 2 boss fights aren't great. Sorry, the Spider-Man PS4 boss fights aren't great. Like emotionally and story-wise, they're phenomenal. Gameplay mechanics, they're fine. They're all the same thing. Be
I'll
honest.
give you this if I can get a veto.
Sure, yeah. Do you agree with me about the boss fights though? Just because this is my one biggest complaint about Spider-Man PS4, which I didn't bring up earlier on.
Yeah, that's why I'm folding.
Yeah,
That's why I'm folding, okay? That's why I'm giving you it.
yeah, because the boss fight's better in Arkham City. And I know you want to say it because you're a Spider-Man boy, and I prefer Spider-Man to Batman, but games wise, anyway, talk
Guys,
me through the next game.
Dean, don't listen.
Mm-hmm.
That conversation
Yeah.
did not go the way I wanted it to go.
But I won you over, didn't I?
I said don't listen. Okay, you can listen now.
Hey, Harlan, I just have an unrelated question.
Yeah.
I just win you over in that conversation.
I'm it's over. I'm over with the
Okay. Talk me through the next game because I haven't played it.
This game. Okay. Next, we're talking about Deadpool. So the combat is repetitive and boring.
Mm-hmm.
The gameplay is pretty monotonous, but it's so
First place,
funny.
you've sold me.
This game,
Yeah.
in the opening thing of this game, Wolverine's knocked out, and you could literally spend 5 hours just slapping him, trying to get him awake. It's very self-working. It is very 2011 humor
I have seen a lot of clips. Yeah.
Because like Deadpool kind of is 2011 humor.
Yeah.
But like I think this is the game. This is the project that really introduced me to Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fourth wall breaking things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun little Easter eggs. It's not the best game, and which is why I don't think a lot of people talk about it anymore. But it is really fun if you're a Deadpool fan.
I think that's funny you said that. I think fourth wall breaks in a video game is a really fun idea. I feel like I can speak about this sort of thing because I have seen so many clips from this game. Like I don't know anything about the gameplay. The thing is, I think you're lucky I haven't played this game because I think I'd be quite negative. Sorry,
Probably.
quite negative on it because I'm not a Deadpool fan.
It does also have sort of where the camera is. I would relate it to similar to Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
Just third person, but the camera's way back.
Yeah.
But I would put this above Lego Marvel Superheroes.
I'm happy to agree with that because I haven't played this game. If I'd played it, I think I would find it annoying.
Probably because you're a Deadpool hater.
I haven't played the next game either, so talk me through it.
Spider-Man Friend or Foe.
Yeah.
Was my favorite game growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a huge list of characters that all get their own like special sort of duo moves.
Yeah.
However, I've been trying to find a way to play this game, but it's not available anywhere anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because people hated it. It really didn't make much sense canonically. Like Harry Osborn as a Green Goblin saves you from the regular Green Goblin.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it came out around Spider-Man 3 time. But I remember loving this game, and everybody that played with, I remember loving it because, like, aka my brother, and I was like 8, and he was like 6. But I saw it, like, a review of it pop up on my YouTube, and I was like, huh, might as well I'll see somebody else who loves this game. And they ripped it apart. They're like, this game is awful. So I guess this is an awful game, but I remember loving it. There's fun boss fights. You fight.
I guess
everybody.
it's an awful game because I heard that online.
Well, like, and that's
I know what you
so
mean.
after seeing that video, I looked it up more, and that's the critical consensus.
Yeah.
It's not a good game.
But as a kid, you enjoyed it.
I adored it.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I think I'll put it at least above Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
That's exactly the spot I was looking at.
Okay.
So I'm happy with that. What's next?
Next, we have, I think, the Lego game I'll be able to give the most accurate opinion on. Lego Batman.
Silly goofy time.
I love this game.
Do you know?
This
Yeah,
is one of my first Lego games I ever played.
I
This
think
like
this
Indiana
was
Jones.
my no. It would have been my second Lego game. I think my first one was Star Wars, and then this. Do you know
Yeah.
what the best part of this game is?
What?
You can play. You can replay. So once you complete the, I don't know if it's once you complete the game or once you complete like the first world or whatever. But then you can go into a separate part and you can play all the game again from the villain's perspective. So it's like completely different levels, but you're playing as the villain of that level.
That's cool.
And I just remember then, and every time I played a new Lego game about a superhero, I just wish they would do that again, and they never did.
Probably because it was a nightmare to do that.
Yeah,
But
it must be.
that's
But
so cool though.
also, but this game would have been my introduction to probably every. It's probably my introduction to Batman. That's a bold statement, but I feel like this is definitely my introduction to the Batman villains rogue gallery. Like when I think Clayface, I think
yeah.
Lego Clayface, and when this is my introduction to the villains.
I would say I think I would assume my introduction to Batman was either Tim Burton's Batman or The Dark Knight.
Because
I would have been like around 5 then.
Yeah.
But this is like those really more niche characters. This was my introduction.
Yeah. I think maybe my introduction to Batman might have been Brave and the Bold.
Oh, maybe mine too. I love that.
You know that film that's coming out in a few years, Batman Brave and the Bold. That was my.
I think this should go in between Fortnite and Deadpool.
Sure. I'm happy with that.
I think an argument could be made for above Fortnite, but you'd have to really.
And I thought of that argument, and then I quelled it. Okay. Next up, we're talking about Injustice.
I love this game.
Can you guess what my gripe with this game is? Just out of interest.
What are you going to say?
I just want to know if you know me well enough to be like, oh yeah, Dean, classic Dean. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me, because I'm probably gonna be like, oh, duh.
I don't really like the story that much. Like no.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Like it's fine. The thing is, I'm not always an anti-evil Superman guy. Like obviously, I prefer my Superman as Superman, and I think a lot of the I think a lot of the stuff I don't like about Injustice as is in the story isn't in this game and is in other forms of injustice. But I think this does a great job at merging the fighter game with a story driven game.
Yeah, but in the game's defense, I think most of its players actually really like the story. That's more of a personal opinion of you not liking an evil Superman.
Yeah, I know people get really annoyed with Wonder Woman in the Injustice verse as well. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the story's weakest point. The game doesn't dive into the story nearly as much as like the comics do.
Yeah.
And I think in the comics it's super interesting seeing just like how insanely strong Superman can get.
Yeah, like I like it. It's just like in the back of my mind whenever I'm watching this game, I'm like,
Now I think because we do have Injustice 2 on this list, and I think it is an interesting thing to talk about because I played the hell out of this game. I was a Nightwing. My main was Nightwing in this game. However, Injustice after then going to play Injustice 2 and then going back to Injustice, it feels a lot clunkier.
Yes, I agree.
but it is a very fun game, and the story is much better than compared to Injustice 2.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to hear the characters?
Sure.
Aquaman, Ares, Atrocitus, Bane, Batgirl, Batman, Bizarro, Black Adam, Black Canary, Black Lightning, Black Manta, Blue Beetle, Brainiac, Captain Cold, Catwoman, Cheetah, Cyborg, Deadshot, Deathstroke, Firestorm, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Harley Quinn, Hawk Girl. Where am I looking? Poison Ivy, Reverse Flash, Robin, Shazam, Sinestro, Solomon Grundy, Superman, Supergirl, The Atom, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Zatanna.
I didn't know Blue Beetle was in
I don't know if that's
Gods
an
Among
extra.
Us.
I don't know if that's an extra or not. It doesn't say on my list. On Captain Cold, I don't. Some of these might have been payable extras because they all got DLCs of 10 other characters. Like I know you can play as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in one of them. But where do
you
you
want to rank this? I think it should go above Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm happy with that spot. I'm not a big fan of this kind of fighter game, and I think I give Injustice the slip because of the story elements to it that kind of integrates it, that makes it work better.
All right, this next one you're gonna know a lot more about than I.
Lego Batman 2 revolutionized the Lego game genre because this, I believe, is the first Lego game with original recorded dialogue for the Lego characters.
Mm.
And this Lego game is like, so you play as Batman all the way through, and then like Superman appears halfway through, and it's pretty sick. And you're like, yo, Superman. And then at the very end of the game is the coolest level in the world, where like the main villain of this game is Lex Luthor, and it's Batman going up against Lex Luthor. And the game ends with like the Justice League coming together to help Batman stop Lex Luthor, and you can play as any of the Justice League. And I think for a Lego game, they do like a really good job at like these characters' powers. Like the Flash is cool, Superman is cool, Green Lantern is cool, and I think it's a lot of fun.
Lego games don't get enough credit for how much they put into these games.
They don't. Apart from the fact I didn't like the new Star Wars one.
Why not?
I don't know. It was just a bit dull.
I mean, it is like kind of all things you've played before. So
that's true. That's true. Yeah, but this game, my favorite Lego game, I think.
Oh, so where do you want to put it?
I kind of want to put it just above Fortnite. Just imagine, Harlan, you're 10 years old, you're playing this Lego game, you're Batman the entire game, you get to the last level against Lex Luthor, and then the entire Justice League show up and you can play as any of them. And Batman and Superman are having really fun banter because they can actually talk in this game. We can put it below Fortnite.
Okay. Put it below Fortnite.
Oh, we have fun.
Yes, we do.
Next up.
Oh, we're gonna butt heads on this.
Duo Arkham Knight.
I've played the entirety of this. I have 100% this game. Spider-Man is the only Spider-Man and Miles Morales.
Are so bad. Not bad, but they're annoying.
I like this game.
I like this game.
But
I think it gets too much criticism.
It does. It does get an unfair amount of criticism, but some of it's pretty fair.
The Batmobile is dumb. And like I get the argument of like, oh, these silly, why are you doing stealth missions in the Batmobile? But I think those missions are fun. They make
you do it so much.
Yeah, but I think they're fun.
I don't find it fun.
Do you not?
No.
Stealth missions are my favorite missions in games.
Me too. Which is why I don't want to be in a car.
What about when you have to fight a massive tank? That's fun.
Like in Spider-Man, I will willingly not use fast travel so I can just swing.
Yeah, I don't use fast travel.
Because I find it fun.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah, I don't use fast travel.
But in this game, they make you take the Batmobile sometimes when you could just glide around.
Yeah,
And it'd be way
Batmobile is
more
fun
fun.
to drive.
What?
The Batmobile is fun to drive.
Yeah, but like I'm not into like racing games.
Yeah,
So like it's like, oh,
but I'm
I
into.
am an avid Batmobile hater.
Are you?
And it's my least favorite part of this game by far.
I understand that criticism. And I don't feel so. I'm not in love with the Batmobile, but I think it's pretty fun. Like I'm that's just my stance on it. I'm like, yeah, I get it if people don't like it, but to me, I'm like, I think it was the necessary way to evolve these games. Would you agree with that? Like maybe they overdid it, but I think you needed the Batmobile to like make this game different.
I'm looking at our list, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know if we can do this, but hear me out.
Where's
Let's
this?
swap Injustice and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Because I think that game is more Injustice is more like revolutionary
Yeah.
than Guardians.
Okay.
Okay. Now that we have that out of the way, where do you think Arkham Knight should go?
You could. I would honestly put it either above or below Injustice.
I'm using my veto here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going below Injustice.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not super like I get the complaints about this game. I think that the story is really good. Like the Jason
I
Todd.
love the Jason Todd storyline. I think that's
The
really
twist is
interesting.
very
I love what they do
predictable.
with Joker.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
It
but
does annoy
it's
me a
still
bit how
fun.
they're kind of like, oh, it's do you know, like in the lead up to the game, they were like, oh, by the way, it's definitely not Jason Todd because that's who everyone's guessing it is.
No,
But they did.
I
And I
don't
like the
remember.
Batman dying stuff. Like, I know people are annoyed that they brought Joker back, but I think it works and it's good.
Yeah, it does work.
I mean, it's Mark Hamill. You can't.
All right.
But onwards and upwards.
This game I know very little about. So
DC
take the lead on
Universe
this one.
Online. You created your own superhero or supervillain, and then you went to these open world places and mucked about a bit, and it's pretty fun. I'm looking like in the like lower quarter of this list, like probably better than like Marvel vs. Capcom, but worse than Lego Batman.
Um, under Spider-Man Fender Film.
Sure.
Cool.
Next up,
Easy. Next up, we have Marvel Snap.
the
This game you got me
mobile
into.
game. Mm-hmm.
The only mobile game we have on here. There are others
Mm.
like Strike Force and the other like Injustice, like
Champions.
yeah. But this game doesn't get enough credit for how good it is.
This is the only game we've played together on this list.
This is true.
We had fun. Do you still play it?
I haven't recently.
Mm-hmm.
I remember getting really mad because I was at my grandparents' lake house where
Yeah.
there was no cell service, zero,
Yeah.
and Marvel Snap was the only game on my phone,
Oh,
and I couldn't
no.
play it.
I think it does. It's got a good, really good roster of characters. I think it's like quite. It's a card
All of
game.
them.
It's a card game. And like they keep they constantly update it and they constantly edit it to make it more playable. And I know a lot of people have issues with the microtransactions and like card availability, but I think this game is a lot of fun.
I'd put it above Deadpool.
I would put it above both Lego Batman.
Really?
I think so. If you like, we can put it in between
Okay.
them
Let's put it in between them,
just
just
to
to break
break them
it
up.
up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay. We're on the home stretch.
On the home stretch, we
Marvel
got four more.
Rise of the Imperfects. I've never heard of this game.
Okay, so this is another fighting game.
Hmm.
And so this, I had this on PlayStation 2. And it was one of the ones where like it was like a greatest hit and the banner was red. Do you remember those?
Yeah,
When you have that? And the Rise of the Imperfects are like these weird alien monster things that was completely made for the game. It's strange. It's just story mode, but there's also like it's like a fighter game similar to Injustice, but instead of it being a 2D scroller, it's like a three-dimensional place you can fight in.
yeah,
And it's similar to Friend or Foe. This is a game like I loved. My cousin had it, and then he sold his PS2, so I got it and I played it to death. And it's fun because you could take your character and make them the imperfect version, and like they looked like more green and like I don't know, alien-esque.
Mhm.
It was fun, but like I said, similar to Spider-Man Friend or Foe, turns out this game is critically dogged on all the time. But it's a fun fighter that like nowadays compared to what we're used to, it's pretty clunky. But back in the day, it played well and I enjoyed it. So I would put this one, considering you don't really have an experience with it,
yeah,
um, under I would put it. Ooh, it's really close to Spider-Man Friend or Foe,
yeah.
but I'd put it below Spider-Man Friend or Foe, but above DC Universe
Sure,
Online.
sure. I'm up for that. Next up, we have
Because although Spider-Man Friend or Foe has continuity mistakes, they didn't make unnecessary new characters.
yeah. Okay. Next up, we have Injustice 2. What's this? What's the subtitle for this one? Injustice 2.
I don't know. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, because the first one's Gods Among Us. Oh no, it's just called Injustice 2. I prefer the story of this game because like the world is further along, which makes it more interesting.
I don't. Well, I don't like this story.
Okay, fair enough.
This Brainiac is like ugh,
Yeah,
boring.
but
But
I like seeing Brainiac.
the character customization
Hmm.
is very fun.
It's cool. Um, Better gameplay, as you said.
Hmm.
I think this game
But
is
I don't like the story as much.
yeah, fair enough.
And the character roster I don't like as much either. I prefer the characters in Injustice.
Interesting. I still think I would argue this game is better than um, the first one.
What makes the story better?
I don't know. Like I'm not. I can't. I think
There's
them
just
going
less the evil
against
Superman.
Brainiac is more interesting than the. I think the two teams coming together in some ways to go up against Brainiac is more interesting than like these two teams separating to go against each other.
But like I think the two teams separating go against each other is so interesting because like it makes more sense as to why you're fighting all these different heroes that's supposed to like each other.
Yeah, you're right, but in that regard, but I just think the like the but we can't trust each other and all that sort of thing's a bit of fun.
It is fun, but I think the regular Injustice is more fun.
Okay, I think these games are predominantly down to their gameplay, and I think the second one is better in that regard.
I'm God, feels so wrong.
I can put it below Arkham Knight if you like.
You mean above?
Below.
But you just said but you're going to put it above Injustice.
Yeah, I know, but if it means I'm pushing Arkham Knight up one spot, then I'm happy to downgrade Injustice 2.
Okay, go for it.
I'm not that invested in the Injustice games. I don't care that much about this. It's just, okay. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Remind
You
me what
played
this
this
game.
game as well.
Yes, I have. I don't really remember it.
It's interesting. This is like this Spider-Man, video game tie-in that we both actually have played.
Yeah, for the definitely not the worst Spider-Man movie, because we both know that Spider-Man 3.
Wait, well, the Spider-Man 3 tie-in game, I will concede is the worst Spider-Man tie-in game.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
It made
Because
Spider-Man
this one is actually pretty good.
is a bit of fun.
You get Kingpin boss fights in this.
You do.
You get Craven.
Yeah.
It does try to tie in a little bit to the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but like not nearly as much as the other ones do. I like this game, but it's not crazy good. Like I wouldn't like say
I
it's
mean,
don't
obviously,
go out
it's
of
got
your
the
way.
best Spider-Man suit in it.
Well, if that was true, it would be in the new games, which it isn't.
It's
So
so annoying that when they finally added the Amazing Spider-Man suit, it's the one from the first film.
so
Not
sad.
that's dumb though, because everyone prefers the one in the second movie.
It is dumb. Admittedly, it's pretty dumb.
Okay, but where are we
And I
ranking?
would rock also that suit a lot if it was, but it isn't.
Yeah.
So I would put this one below Lego Batman. Like anywhere below Lego Batman.
Yeah, I'll put it above Deadpool because I feel like I really wouldn't like that game. As I said, the final game, we've made it. Spider-Man Miles Morales. What does this game do better than Spider-Man PS4?
Swinging.
I think gameplay mechanics, full stop.
Yeah. And I like the winter aesthetic.
Yeah, winter aesthetic's good. I think, yeah, the venom and the invisibility add a real good like added layer to this game. So much so that I worry that in the new game I'm like gonna be avoiding playing as Pete because I'm just like Miles Morales is so fun.
Yeah, I have enough faith in Insomniac that won't be the case. So
And I mean, yeah, that's until he gets the symbiote, of course, and then I'm gonna be all over him.
and we know something's going on with his venom though
Yeah,
in Miles Morales because his venom's blue in this game for some reason.
that's true. But
So
anyway, Miles
they might be
Morales.
playing with that to power scale it a little bit.
Yeah, I think the side missions are better in this game.
But the main mission, the campaign, is worse.
It is worse. Would you agree about like the side missions and all the added stuff though?
What are the side missions? Like what are it's been a while.
I mean, I don't mean like the specific side missions. I mean like the collectibles and the and those sort of things. You know like those challenges and that sort of stuff because you got the Peter Parker challenges and you've got the Prowler stuff and you've got like the app for the crimes.
Yeah, it's close for me though. Like, I don't think it's wildly better where I'm like, oh, blows out of the water.
Yeah, like I do agree. Spider-Man PS4 is the better game, um, but this game is still a lot of fun.
Would you consider it better than the Arkham Asylum?
I think I would.
You could. It's too small of a game.
Yeah, it's true.
Arkham Asylum is huge and has so many
Yeah.
good bits. And Miles Morales is too. It's just like less.
You want to put it in fourth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm honestly, can I be honest with you? This might.
Please don't.
Okay, looking at this list, I'm starting to think that Spider-Man PS4 should go in first place, but I honestly don't know.
You know what? I've been thinking about this a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're right.
You think I'm right? Arkham City's first.
Yep.
I think the reason I'm saying the reason I keep going, but maybe Spider-Man PS4 is better. I think it is just recency bias for me.
You know what? No, leave it the way it is because we had a full in-depth conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah, leave it
Okay,
the
we
way it
have
is.
ranked all 22 games. Do you want to go through from worst to best?
All right, sure. In 22nd, we have The Avengers.
Yeah.
In 21st, we have Marvel's Ultimate Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
In 20th, we have Spider-Man 2002, the game that came out with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. In 19th, we have Marvel vs. Capcom 3, because that's the only one we've played. In 18th, we have DC Universe Online. In 17th, we have Marvel Rise of the Imperfects. 16th, Spider-Man Friend or Foe. 15th, Lego Marvel Superheroes. 14th, Deadpool. 13th, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 tie-in video game. 12th place, Lego Batman. 11th, Marvel Snap, the mobile game. 10th, Lego Batman 2. In 9th place, we have Fortnite. In 8th place, we have Guardians of the Galaxy. In 7th, Injustice 2. 6th, Arkham Knight. 5th, Injustice. And then in 4th, we have Spider-Man Miles Morales. And then the top 3 superhero video games of all time. In 3rd place, Arkham Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
2nd place, Spider-Man PS4. And in 1st, we have Arkham City.
I think they are the best three superhero video games we put in the top 3 spots. I would agree with that.
But that could all change in the next 2 years.
I think it will. I think Spider-Man 2 has potential to be the best.
Mm-hmm. And Wolverine's coming out soon.
Yep. And then there's that there's the Captain America and Black Panther game that no one cares about. Anyway, thank you. Okay, but if you had to think of the most iconic video game character in the world, what does he sound like? Or she? I don't know who you're thinking of. Harlan's desperately trying to think.
I don't know. I'm honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it's because we had somebody come in to fix our sink earlier, but I can only think of plumbers right now.
Did you actually have someone come in to fix your sink? Sorry, I was just interested in
I had nobody check my sink. They can't see me, so it's okay. I can talk whatever I want.
Interested in your home life. I just
like my home life.
Yeah, I like checking up on you, making sure you're okay. How's Ned?
Good. He's sleeping somewhere right now.
Is he settled?
He's settling.
Okay, I'll ask you about it later. Mamma Mia, pizza pie.
Wait, are we thinking of the same person?
Yeah.
Paolo Gucci.
We have done this for too long.
Yeah.
That was not a good sign. That was a sign that we should just quit this.
All right. Well, that's it, guys. You heard it here.
Adios.
Straight from.
What were you saying? I think we're really bad at ending our podcasts. We should just get to the point quicker. He's gone. He left me. This has never happened before. So I'd just like to say thank you for listening to this solo podcast. And we'll see you next time. Bye. This is so weird doing this by myself.